Guys, what's going on? My name is John. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This episode, I'm going to show you guys an exclusive first look at a game that we've been working on at CollectorVision Games. It's called City Hunter and the Curse of the Mayans. Our intentions are to eventually port this game over to the NES, to other platforms as well, including the Genesis, Sega CD, etc. But this is coming out for modern consoles, so it's going to be coming out for definitely. We have a Nintendo dev kit, so we're going to come out for the Wii U, possibly the 3DS as well. It's going to come out for sure for the Xbox One. We have a dev kit for that. Working on acquiring a dev kit for the PlayStation Network, so PS4, Vita, etc. Going to greenlight this on Steam as well. So it's going to be really cool. So you can be able to download it. It's going to be a pretty fun game to check out. The reason I want to show you guys this video too is because it's part of the community. I'm really looking for feedback from you guys as well. So if you guys see anything that you think should be added or changed, by all means, let us know. This is a community project, and we are fans of classic games, and that's the reason we're doing this. So without any further ado, let's check out City Hunter and the Curse of the Mayans. So here it is, first look at City Hunter and the Curse of the Mayans. Super excited about this game, guys. And just a trivia thing here, that logo is actually designed by Joe Simcoe, who's an artist for Topps Playing Cards, who's done a lot of the work for the Garbage Pail Kids line, which is kind of cool. This profile select scene sampled by, of course, a classic game most of us will know, Zelda. In fact, a lot of this game, you'll notice, we take samples of games that we really like Zelda or Castlevania, Super Mario Brothers 2 even, and have sampled those games that we were like, even Mega Man, and put them into this game, which is really cool. You'll notice it's kind of dark initially, and it's intentionally. Once you hit a torch, which you need to light up the room, you should get 10 torches, as it's shown in the bottom right corner of the screen, the HUD. That's actually what you pass it is your checkpoint. And there's several of those along the temple. There's mines to help you along the way. Here is a mine. It's going to tell me, talk about the first god. There's going to be 6 gods, and there's going to be 2 final bosses. This is Amuzinkab. I'm really probably butchering that name of this god, but that's actually a bee god. So when researching this game, we actually did a lot of research on the Mayan culture itself. We did a lot of homework as far as what kind of gods they believed in. The whole premise of this game, the story is in the world, the Mayan calendar, and the city's objective, his goal is to basically defeat all these 6 gods with 2 final bosses to save the end of the world. There's various ways you can go about it, different paths you can take. There's going to be around about 400 different screens in the game, so it's going to be pretty significant in size. There's going to be a lot of replay value because there's different ways you can go about finding what you need. Every time you go to a different room, the torch actually goes down by 1, as I'm demonstrating here. Once it gets down to 1, actually goes dark, and only light up when the flames go, which is kind of cool, as shown here. So it's dark right now. Intentionally, I got to find a flame. So we'll go down the line here. You can still kind of see. It's just kind of harder to see without the torch. So you definitely need to find the torch. There's a whole bunch of bricks that you can break and find different items. I do have a key to unlock this white gate, and that's one thing you'll need to collect keys to do that. There's various enemies. We're going to add a lot more in the game as well, all said and done. The object of this game, really, when we developed this game, we wanted to be ported to the NES, and we still do plan on porting this to the NES. Most likely, the NES port will probably come out in 2017 sometime. But most of the sprites right now are compatible. Here is a scorpion. When you hit it once, it speeds up. We actually sampled that from Super Mario Brothers, the arcade game, and when you hit those crabs, they speed up. That sprite right there for the ghost, that's actually a 16-bit sprite that will not work on NES. Neither will the skull flame that you can actually hit with a whip and collect gems. The goal for the gems, those are important because you actually use that money currency to purchase items from various mines along the way, and whether it's a map or elixirs, etc., you can purchase it. Kind of similar to Zelda, actually. Bombs are really important to collect too, because you can use bombs to break away various blocks to unlock certain passages along the way. If you don't kill the enemy, they do follow you in other rooms, so it's probably best to kill the enemy when you see him. There's an elixir, that yellow, that actually increases your health meter. Pineapples increase your health as well. So I do want to say a big thank you to Russ, who is a programmer working on this for us. He's doing a great job with this game. Here is another Mayan. It tells you about this god called Kukulkan. Kukulkan actually is a god that's actually like a feathered serpent. Amozunkab, which I mentioned before, that's actually a god that was actually in the game Smite, if If you guys have played that, you may recognize his name. I'm going to use a bomb to break away one of these bricks. Go down here. Now the bees currently are hovering around the hives. We're going to actually fix that where they start, when you walk by them, they're going to actually start attacking you to make it a little bit more challenging. I'll show you where the first area for uh, the first god is, and this is where he'll be. He's not currently programmed yet, but that's kind of where he'll be. And also regarding the NES port, NES is actually done in 4:3 aspect ratio, where this is 16:9. So again, the aspect ratio will be a little bit different, but sprite work, it will work the same. In fact, when we were initially programming this game, it was going to be in 4:3 aspect ratio. We decided to change it to 16:9 because most games like Shovel Knight are in 16:9. I think it looks a bit more modern for sure. So we'll use a bomb here to break away this brick, and this breaks away so I can actually enter this room. There's another fire flame. So back to Russ. Yes, Russ is a programmer and doing a great job with this game. He's done a lot of research on the Mayan culture. Couldn't do this game without him. He's put in literally hundreds of hours into programming this game. Another big thank you is to Keith, who is the creator of City Hunter character, and he's helped with a lot of the sprite work and art design. JF, who's my partner at crime at CollectorVision Games, he's done a lot of the layout for the maps. In fact, he's done a lot of layout for the maps for this game. Toby is another partner of mine at CollectorVision Games, has helped out a lot with input. Also, Ben is helping out with the music. The music is not on the loop, so right now it doesn't loop around, but the music will be in 18-bit form. But what you're hearing in this game is original music that Ben put together, but it will just be in 18-bit form rather than modern form it is currently. So big thank you to Ben. And Jason is programming this to both the Genesis and Sega CD. So what we'll probably do is the Sega CD will have like the modern music, this kind of music, and then the Genesis will put like the 8-bit sound to it. So we'll have enhanced audio for the Sega CD version. Maybe cutscenes, we'll see. I don't know. It's ways away still. So right now our focus is on porting it to modern consoles right now. So I'll use the bomb to break away this passage. I'm gonna try to find. I'm gonna show you where the boomerang is, because the boomerang is a great helpful weapon. But in order to do that, you need to find certain keys to unlock it. And so use a bomb here again to break away. And without bombs, you can't do that necessarily. There's various ways you can actually select your weapons. You can select your weapon by hitting the R and L shoulder buttons, and in the middle HUD there in the bottom, that shows you which weapon is equipped. You can also go to the main menu by hitting select and select it old school way like that. That green meter there is my health meter. It goes down to orange, then gets to red, which is my last hit, and then I'll eventually die. So you get basically 3 hits. And then bottom left is how many lives I have. So that's kind of the HUD, pretty straightforward. Watch out for these bees kind of fly randomly. So in some areas, these bees fly randomly. In other areas, they stick to the hive. We're definitely going to fix that. The auto death when you hit flame or any spikes, just so you know. But fortunately, I had a safe spot here, so we'll start from this point. Gotta watch out for flame. So right now, I'm in the orange. I'm in the red. I'm not doing so hot. I need a pineapple, or I can find an elixir to increase my health as well. Here's the health meter there briefly. Wait to get another bomb. Here's a pineapple. That's going to definitely help me out. We're going to probably add more enemies. We'll have some snakes for sure, and some other enemies. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts of other enemies maybe that we should add. Those ghosts may or may not stay in the game. Those are actually from Curse of the Mayans or Caverns of Death. These bricks, as you break away, you can get, there you go, another pineapple that helps. So now I'm in the orange, not in the red so much anymore. You can get a lot of gems in this game. In fact, right now, probably currently too many. You get a lot of money. We're going to change that because once you purchase things, we don't want to make it where you can just buy anything you want. We'll make it a little bit more challenging. This game is going to be very challenging, but I think it's going to increase the replay value for City Hunter and the Curse of the Mayans for sure. I need to get a bomb. I just realized I need one more bomb. So go down here, break away here, get the bomb. It's been interesting working on this game and seeing it kind of develop over this past year, and seeing it from the first build. This is actually build 30 to give you an idea. And we hope this game will plan on coming out April or May of next year. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before or not, but that's when we're playing on this game coming out. We added the waterfalls probably about a month ago with the sewers. I think that's a nice touch for sure. just adding more details to it just to make it look cool. We're definitely fans of old school graphics and stuff like that. The 8-bit I think is really a nice touch. We extend the whip. Initially, the whip was a little bit too short. Let's extend the whip. There's a gray key. I don't need him necessarily right now. I'm going to save this spot right here, so if I do die, I can start from this point rather than opposed to just going back to where I was before. So I'll go and do that. Auto save, which is nice. And some other things like the flash there, that's not necessarily going to be able to look like that on the NES. So there's some subtle things, but for the most part, the graphics and sprites will work on the NES. Unlike games like even Mario, Mega Man 9, that game won't work on the NES, just even though it looks like it may. Even like Shovel Knight obviously won't work on classic consoles. So it's definitely more challenging to port a game to the classic console opposed to modern console. But our business model at CollectorVision Games is to work on new games for old consoles and then port those to new consoles as well. So it's kind of something we're working on, and I'm part of. Initially, we started off porting homebrew games for the ColecoVision console, hence the name CollectorVision. And then we've worked on games for the Intellivision, Atari 2600, the NES, working on some couple Super Nintendo games, among others. So it's pretty exciting. It's kind of fun to work on these games, but the limitations are much more challenging for sure. And just quite frankly, the audience it's much more niche market to port games to classic consoles. So I have all the keys here. We're going to break this way. In the next room, I'll get my boomerang. Gotta watch out for these bees. They'll get you. And there it is, a boomerang. Even the artwork, like the skulls there, we've actually taken those skulls. We looked at images from the Mayan culture, and we've actually sampled those images and applied them to put them in 8-bit form. So just the little details I think a lot of people may not know about. We actually we pay attention to those details. So now that I have my boomerang, it definitely increases my length of a weapon. Or save it right there, which is nice. These all break away for special items. I'm going to take you to the first god, and the first god you'll probably recognize him. He's there for a sprite filler, essentially, and then we're going to add the sprites and fill him in. So we're not going to use what the god looks like currently, but you're going to laugh when you see him because you may recognize him from a game that's pretty popular. Oh, I need some pineapple. There you go. I got it. And the reason this pineapple is gives you health is another trivia thing. Is actually Keith, who's created City Hunter, is Studio Pina is his studio, and that's Spanish for pineapple. So that's the reason that we use pineapple. So I got an elixir, green elixir, which is going to help me get health. So notice I go from being sweaty and nervous to now I'm okay because I drank the elixir. So that's cool. The port I'm playing here is actually built on for the Wii U. So it's going to come out for the Wii U, and as I mentioned before, and then we just got a Xbox One dev system, and we're porting on that from Unity. These scorpions can be kind of challenging. The good thing about the boomerang is it has a lot of length, but if it goes far out, you can't use it twice, so it gets kind of challenging because you're kind of exposed to a point when it is further from you. We're getting close to the first god. Again, you can actually go up here and get some more items. And when we're actually building this game, what we do is we create the graphics and sprites first, and then Russ goes in there as a programmer and kind of puzzles it all together based on the layout that JF sends him, which is kind of cool. So it's kind of like a puzzle. So there's a lot of similar sprites, and like you'll see the flames and stuff. It's just basically it's kind of like, think of like Mario Maker, basically kind of like that for this game. So get some pineapples. Here's the first god. You'll notice him right away. You're gonna laugh. He's Quickman from Mega Man 2. So we're gonna fill, like as I said before, we're gonna fill him in as a different sprite, but it will give you an idea as far as the play mechanics for the boss battles. There's gonna be 6 total, plus 2 final gods that you have to fight. He's almost easier to defeat with a whip, to be honest with you, but I'll defeat him with a boomerang here. And he is a bee god, so he's releasing bees. We kind of discussed maybe doing something like similar like Mega Man, where you get like the ability once you defeat a god. So maybe like Sydney will have like bees that you can use for weapons. I don't know. It's still kind of a wait and see. I'm not sure if we'll end up doing that or not. So every time we play this, we get ideas that we add. It's kind of a work in progress. So I think the final version of City Hunter and the Curse of Mayans will look different than this. Not by too much, but it will certainly evolve. And got a bug test, which can be challenging too. Especially that's probably the biggest challenging of porting games to classic consoles like the NES is the bugs, because with modern consoles you can actually patch it up pretty easily. Old school consoles, it's burnt to the ROM board. It's there for good. We're doing a City Hunter game for Super Nintendo called Caverns of Death. Same character, completely different game. That's coming out for the Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, other consoles. This is it's the same character but different game, basically, more or less. So this is kind of cool. So kind of Shadow of the Colossus style. When you defeat a god, the statue crumbles, and it shows you kind of the progression of the room. And this mine will kind of explain to you what this room is. So it's a calendar room, the Hab, which is actually this Mayan term for calendar. And the Wahab is actually there's 18 months in the Mayan calendar, 20 days in each month, and there's a 5-day Wahab month, which is only 5 days, and that's what he's talking about here, 5 days. And he's kind of perturbed because there's a guest visiting this room and it's unlucky, whatever. So again, subtle things that we research and we the culture, and that a lot of people may overlook, but kind of cool nonetheless. And this next room is in the merchant store. So he says right now doesn't have any deals, but we're actually working on that part of it. And here's a screenshot of what that will look like. It will be very similar to Zelda, where you can purchase 3 items at a time. You have to choose, and you can walk up to the item, whatever. Here is a simple second temple, and this is a new temple that we've been working on. You can see it's different, and a lot of greenery, a lot of water. One thing we're going to add is when you jump in the water, there's still be a splash, which is cool. And there's no swim mechanic right now currently in the game, so when you go in the water, it works the same as if you're above water. But that's something we are still going to work on. And we might do it like Sonic the Hedgehog, where you can just hold his breath for a certain amount of time and have like air bubbles to help him out, like Sonic style. May do it even like Mario Brothers style, where he'll swim around. Not really sure. I think we're leaning towards possibly doing like a Sonic style, but there'll be fish and other enemies that we're going to add in here. There's some more keys. So you can see, we obviously have a lot more work to do for this game, but we're pretty far along, and we're really excited about this game when it comes out. It'll be a DLC, of course, although eventually we'll hope to have some kind of physical format for the Wii U or for PS4 or Xbox One. Kind of like Shovel Knight just came out in physical copy, but in order for that to happen, we'd certainly need the demand for physical copy, because that certainly gets pretty expensive to do that with distribution and all that good stuff. So let me know what you guys think of City Hunter and the Curse of Mayans, guys. I really appreciate you guys' feedback. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to stay in touch, I encourage you guys to follow CollectorVision Games. I actually just recently started a YouTube channel, so I'll put a link below for that. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So those are great ways to just stay connected with the various projects we're working on. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Take care, and game on.